This is Lindsay, and it's February 11th, 2026, Wednesday. And, yeah, so this is just crazy. And obviously, this Lewis con man liar is getting paid to do this. And, like, I know it's obvious that my instincts the whole time were right about this man, because all the patterns and the timing of his showing up in my life, being so persistent in trying to get into a relationship with me, and it just so happens that it was right when my uncle died, or my father or uncle, if he's my uncle or father, Alan, in 2023. So isn't that kind of odd that how all the timing and patterns of his showing up, his having started that job at Saks Fifth Avenue right at that same time, exactly when Alan died, which happens to be in the same parking lot as a Macy's, where Alan gave me where I gave him back the ring in 2017 that I had inherited from my grandmother Violet, that Alan was keeping safe for me, that he was going to return to me one day, that I met in the Macy's parking lot and signed a contract with him about how he would hold the ring for me. Isn't that funny? And it happens to be North Star Mall, same mall where the Saks Fifth Avenue is, that this man supposedly worked at the Saks Fifth Avenue, where that fucking boot thing is in the parking lot, whatever. I mean, it's all so blatantly obvious to me, and I'm convinced now. I know for 100% sure that he was sent by either Bob Sussman, his people, that Bob Sussman's family who has to do with money, or maybe that Bobby White guy who's a white security private investigator, whatever, former police officer from Longview, Texas, who God knows that this fucking Valdez dude either works as some kind of a private investigator, works for some kind of FBI, or does something with law enforcement, maybe is some kind of an undercover cop, or, a security guard, private security guard. I do not know, but it's obvious, because all the patterns and timing, to me, makes sense. And clearly what they did with me is because a long time ago, when I had signed, whenever I went and quote unquote went into business with Bobby White of Longview, Bobby White Security in 2000, whatever it was, 2000, I think that was around 2010 or something like that, whatever, that I drove to Longview so many times to meet with him and his wife, and ended up signing some contract where he wanted to go into business with me, and I was going to own part of his company called White Security, and I signed it, and the money came out of the account that I had with Dane Rauscher and Lou Harris, and it was my advisor at the time, Lou Harris, okay? And then just so happens that when Lou Harris was still managing Alan's money when Alan died, the RBC account, okay, the retirement account, which I inherited. It's called a decedent IRA account with Dane Rauscher. Well, this was in Houston, at Post Oak, over there by the Galleria, is where the office was for Lou Harris. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that when Alan dies, of course, that whole IRA account. Well, there's somebody named Connie, who who I was corresponding with, Connie. So Connie Diaz or whatever. Okay, well, just so happens that this Luis Valdez supposedly his ex-wife is named Connie Consuelo or Connie Gomez. And the man who happened to live in this house, his last name was Gomez. I'm just saying all the names and all the patterns. I know that can be a common name, but a lot of this is just no coincidence whatsoever. The names, the dates, the timing, the patterns, which I do pick up on. And this man clearly was sent by somebody to try to get money from me or to try to forge documents. And as I've stated before, this Luis Valdez is involved with most likely some kind of criminal, drug dealers or white-collar criminals or money laundering, whatever it is that he's involved with, whatever people they have affiliates with Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever they do, it's all a bunch of dirt. A lot of it's dirty money, drug money, human trafficking, shit like that. This man is definitely involved with that kind of stuff, and I could tell from the very minute I met him that he was a liar, that he was using me as an opportunity in getting paid for it. And I told him that. I said, who sent you? What do you want from me? Because it's obvious that you're scripted, and I can tell that you're lying to me, and you're trying to act like a handler and control my life by saying all this shit like, you care about me and blah, 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 I care about you. You're my friend. I care about you. And he would always say that. And I'm like, what is this word? Why are you always using the word care? Well, care is a word that's very, in Freemasonry, care is one of the main, it's all a bunch of secret society speech jargon that they use, okay? This kind of secret code language that a lot of Freemasons and other groups, which the Jesuits of Freemasons and all that shit, they're all involved with a lot of these things, okay? They're all involved with scandals, money laundering, sex trafficking, all this stuff, because I know this, because I've researched it for years, and I know what I'm talking about. And I also have had so-called family members of mine who are involved with Freemasonry and whatnot. Not Jesuits that I know of, but Freemasonry, which it's all the same thing. They're all connected. Except, supposedly the enemies of the Freemasons are the Roman Jesuits, which is not necessarily true. But the Jesuits and the Freemasons, all this crap goes way, way back into history. As people know, they run the court system, the law enforcement, the legal system. It's all Freemasonic, Jesuit stuff. And I know this. I know a thing or two about that. And after going through that probate thing, it's 100% obvious, and nobody's going to try to convince me otherwise, that man, Luis Valdez, was sent as a handler to try to control my life, control my money, use me as an object, some kind of a toy for him, because this is what they do. The more money and power these creepy perverts have, they think they can have anybody and everybody, and they just buy people like commodity. Like if they want somebody to use for a sex slave, they can just buy a person. And I figured that out. I saw what he was doing. He was very manipulative. He was very controlling, very mean and abusive, as far as psychologically abusive towards me, and always demanding of my time and energy and whatnot. And I was like, what the fuck? And I suppose, of course, Carter Baldwin, the little jackass so-called half-sibling in L.A., it's all connected. You see, Bob Sussman, Carter Baldwin, Jacob Sussman, these people, I see it. It's Saks Fifth Avenue, Battlesteins, which Bob Sussman's family owned in Houston, a department store where in Bob's, it's all connected. Bob was an alcoholic. This man is an alcoholic. He looks like a Jew. He works around a lot of Jewish people. He's had a lot of Jewish employers here in San Antonio. And, Saks Fifth Avenue is a Jewish-run department store, okay, where it's a big shell front company with money laundering. And I know that for a fact. So I'm just saying this man is a fraud. He's a con, and he thinks I'm too dumb. Or he's told me many times that I'm intelligent. He knows that I'm smart. He's even told me that you're very smart and intelligent, and that's why he likes me. Well, if you like me, then why the fuck? It doesn't matter. What I'm just saying is this man is obsessed with trying to ruin my life now because I figured out his scam, his con, his mask fell off. he was completely living a double life and then hiding it from me in plain sight. But then again, his stupid Facebook reveals everything right there. His girlfriend. But all the stories that he had told me about his other girlfriends, like all he would do is complain about how the intimate with them, how they couldn't do this or they couldn't do that, or making fun of the way they would give him oral play. I mean, he's just a pig. He's a sexist pig. He's a sex addict. He's an alcoholic, and he's a pig. He sees women as objects. That's it. It's disgusting. But that's why the only kinds of women that like those kinds of men are submissive women who are ignorant or naive about narcissistic abuse, or either that or they're just as toxic as the somatic narcissist. Because otherwise, what kind of a person is gonna, with any kind of integrity, would put up with that kind of abuse, being exploited in that kind of way? You know, I guess some people find they like that kind of control and that fake kind of relationship that's based on nothing but flesh and sins of the flesh and fornicating and getting drunk and partying and doing drugs and cocaine and whatnot. What else these people do, which I'm sure they do. And then lying about it and acting like, and just completely lying to people and using people and trying to steal their fucking money. Okay, this man is involved with God knows how many. I wonder how many women he's tried to victimize by getting their money, or how many women he works. Whatever they do, I see it. It doesn't fool me. And then, you know, it's just, he's got, I picked up on all the patterns about the types of women who he would target in the past. Women who were sick, maybe they had some kind of cancer diagnosis. One woman he told me about, he said that he had a girlfriend or some woman who he met dancing who had cancer. And then he talked about how the woman wanted how she liked him and wanted him to be whatever, the boyfriend. And he's like, no way, why would I want to be with someone like you? You have cancer. Okay, I wouldn't want to be with someone like you, is what he told me. He's like, why would I want to be with a woman who has cancer? So, and then he would make fun of another woman who he dated, and her name is Alicia. And he's like, oh, she didn't know how to, he made fun of the way she gave him did something to him orally. The way she did that. So he would make fun of her. I don't know what the toxicity was involved with that, but apparently a lot of alcohol involved with that situation he was in, or whatever. His girlfriend. No, she was actually a girlfriend, okay, supposedly. But what he would do is make fun of them and talk about how she was always taking prescription drugs and, oh, I need this pill and that pill and nah. And then he told me all about her son. This man revealed so much to me about things, about people that he dated and their families and whatnot. And yet, once again, this man acted like I would say, look, you know, I'm just why is it that you have to lie to me about so many things? And why is it that you can't just be honest about the fact that you are trying to exploit me, or who's paying you to do this, and what do you want from me? But I mean, it's like, what? And he would entrap. He was using entrapment, coercive abuse, manipulations, blackmailing, all kinds of stuff, getting all this information about me, personal information, medical history, all kinds of information to use against me, okay, and make fun of me and smear me. He was already smearing my name and my reputation right when the situation shit started. And like I said, it was clear that he was a handler. That was no accident that he was sent into my life like that. Why? By who? Like I said, I already suspect who. And that fucking sibling, that Carter fucking asshole Baldwin, little shit asshole narcissist half sibling, is the one who's like the main ringleader. He and probably, you know, these people affiliated with Bob Sussman. Why? Because it's money, and Carter is not related to Alan Baldwin. he was adopted into that family, I suppose, but he is not blood related to Alan Baldwin by any means. I can assure you of that. It's obvious. So what they're doing is trying to make me look like some unstable, crazy person who's demanding or who's desperate for attention and whatnot, when in fact it's the other way around. What they do is they use reverse psychology. They try to, portray you. They catch you in your vulnerable moments, and they then they project. They use psychological projection to make the victim look crazy by gaslighting them. And this is what this creepy, sadistic, warlock, whatever, satanic man was doing to me. Clearly. And he did try to poison me, as I talked about. He put some poison seeds in the bottom of my drinking cup at one point, and I saw that, and I filmed it. And he even confessed that his friend knew all about botany and poisonous plants. He told me all this shit right when he did it, the night before. So he was confessing what he did. This man is so stupid. I mean, he's so dumb. He's so whatever. So anyway, all that happened for the past 3 years, almost. All this went on for a good 3 years. I would tell him, look, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Leave me alone. I don't trust you. This relationship just seems off. I don't know anything about you. You lie to me. You're full of shit. You act like you're scripted. But he still kept coming around, harassing me, stalking me, uninvited. How many times I changed my phone number and all that crap. And whatever, and he would just show up, not, demanding that I let him inside, and mostly I would let him inside. Stupid me. That's what I kept doing, is letting him inside my house over and over and over again, and letting him, just basically because I felt like this man was going to get violent, or I was starting to fear for my safety, because you don't know what these people are capable of doing whenever you upset them. You don't know. They might not show you their entire violent side, but they do have one for sure if they lose their temper. Because I saw him lose his temper several times, and I was afraid that he's a tall, big man, and I was afraid he might try to physically hurt me or do something else. And this is clear, it's so obvious to me what's going on, and I can't believe that I have to sit here and defend myself against a stalker, perpetrator, gang-affiliated drug, whatever the fuck he's involved with. I shouldn't have to be going through this, wasting my energy and time to document this stuff. Document it is what I'm doing. Documenting it for my own reasons. Okay, this man was trying to steal my money, my energy, my life force, everything about me, trying to deter my path, whatever that is supposed to be, which I was trying to do my own thing, and this man was doing everything and anything to try to prevent me because of his envy and hatred towards me, which he already had from the minute he met me. And I had not done a goddamn thing to him except be nice and honest with him about everything about who I was. And that's all I did. That's my only flaw, is being too fucking trusting and honest to people like that, who don't fucking deserve the time of day from me, or in my house, in my energy, in my room, anything. You see what these people do? These people like him belong either in a fucking prison or a mental hospital, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a lot of screws loose because of his childhood trauma, his neglect, the lack of a father figure, the fact that he's born from adultery or whatever, I think has something to do with it. This curse of the bastard thing probably has something to do with it, which is biblical. The fact that he has no spirituality, mocks God, mocks everything about everything I did, he made fun of. Every kind, the music I listened to, the way I dress, my hairstyle, everything, he made fun of me. All he wanted to do was use my body for his pleasure, for pleasing him. That was it. It was a very one-sided relationship where I never expected anything from him, nor did I even want anything from him because it was so disgusting. the way he would make me feel and the way he made me feel so dirty and ashamed. But this was all done intentionally. Intentionally. And I see what these people do. I see what he was doing to try to portray me as being some fool. But nonetheless, this man has been caught. I've caught him, I've filmed him, and I've put it on my videos because I believe that he needs to be exposed for what he's doing or what he's done. I don't think that people like that should be, I don't know, whatever kind of toxic relationship he's in now with this woman, they had this planned out. This was planned. This was done behind my back to try to either steal money, have me killed, to collect money or insurance or life insurance or most likely my inheritance, my money that this man was fucking stealing. He was always wanting to know how much money I had, what I was buying, what I was eating, every little thing about my life he wanted to control, micromanage, everything. Everything about my life. He thought that he owned me like an object, is how he treated me, the times that I would see him. And he would always say, I need to be with you every single night. I need this every single night. And I'd be like, no, I'm exhausted. I don't want to see you every single day because I don't get anything out of it. What the fuck do I get out of this whole thing? Nothing. Except being exploited and abused. He was so selfish, self-absorbed, greedy, very much towards me that way. Okay, and I learned to just take that, and I know that I'm deserving of better, and quite frankly, I don't want anything from that man anyway, except for him to leave me alone forever. And that's why I told him that I'm gonna get a restraining order on you if you keep harassing me and stalking me. And he didn't believe me, and he kept saying, you can't do that. Why are you gonna do that? I'm like, well, what are you, a fucking police officer? Who are you? What do you want from me? And so I've been documenting all this stuff to show that I'm not exaggerating about any of it. I see what he did. I see what he's doing. He's angry. He's got issues from his trauma, childhood trauma from his exes. He feels betrayed and rejected, and he projects a lot of the insecurities onto me. But he puts on a front like he's happy and always, everything's, oh yeah, but that's a lie. The guy's miserable. He's a black hole, miserable, incubus sucker. He wants to suck away my energy and take away the energy that I have. And he can't do it. He cannot do that. Because I have God looking out for me. And this man, I believe, is just something is evil about, something is just really psychologically psychopathic type behavior that he exhibits. So yesterday, like I said, he'll just come and go out of my life, right? And come back acting like nothing ever happened and just acting like I should just let him into my house, like I'm his object, like his option for him. Yet he's got this other girlfriend that apparently, from his Facebook that I was able to find out, that looks like he's been with that person since October of 2025, because he's got photos and all these photos of them, and they're, oh wow, I'm really happy for you. Good, I'm glad you found somebody. What the fuck? Why do you keep bothering me then? Why, if he's already met somebody who he's so in love with that it looks like they're gonna get married, if they're not already married, or if maybe she's pregnant, or maybe they are engaged, good. I don't give a shit. Now, why do you keep bothering me then? The question is, if he's with somebody, why does he keep coming around here? Why? What does he want? I don't want anything to do with him, especially now that I know that he's with someone else. I don't fucking want to have anything to do with him at all. I don't want to be his friend. He's like, I thought we were friends. I don't want to fucking be your friend, dumbass. Why would I want to be friends with somebody who's betrayed me and lied to me like that? What the fuck would I want to be with someone like, even let them in my house, be anywhere around them, be anywhere near them? Why? You see how these people think? That they're just entitled to your time, your space, your energy, your friends, your contacts, everything, your money, your house. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are? I'm not a fucking contract for you. I didn't sign a contract with this asshole. And I sure as a fuck would never in a million years marry someone like that, or let alone marry anybody. Especially not some control freak, womanizing narcissist, like somatic sex addict, alcoholic like him. Hell no. No way. And I do believe he's a closet homosexual or bisexual. Either bisexual, closeted, or homosexual. 100%. I see it. He's confused. The guy's confused. He's got a lot of anger issues. He's got a lot of pain. And he doesn't even know what... The guy's so fucking confused. I don't even think he knows what he's doing. He's just going along with the script because he feels that he's got to maintain that image and that status that he's got going on. And now, I don't even know if he's fucking working. I believe that he was working as some fucking security guard, probably. Or if even that, who knows what he was really doing for a living. I never called Saks Fifth Avenue. The one time I called months ago, like almost a year ago, to see if he really worked there, the guy said, he acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. He's like, I said, may I speak to Luis Valdez in the shoe department? He said, who's that? I said, well, his name is Luis Valdez, and he's in the shoe department. And he acted like he didn't know. He's like, I don't know anyone by that name. I'm like, okay. Huh, that's odd. Because apparently this man said he worked in the shoe department or the jewelry department or various departments in Saks Fifth Avenue at North Star Mall in San Antonio, Texas. I'm like, well, okay, I honestly don't know if he ever worked there or not. I'm starting to think that maybe he didn't. Or maybe he got fired now. I don't know, but it looks kind of odd that he's all of a sudden like saying I've been out of town for work and, and they sent me to Houston and they sent me in a plane, but I drove, but I went on an airplane and I was in a motel, but I don't remember which one. And I was like, he's like, what the fuck? The guy's such a liar. It's like, dude, get your shit together. Get your script straight, dude, because you fucked up. Get your shit together. Because he's a fucking pathological liar, like most narcissistic people are. So his woman, this girl, I guess maybe it has something to do with Dane Rauscher. Maybe they are trying to get money. Maybe they stole my fucking money. They are forged documents or something weird for sure that this man's involved with. And he's going to get his ass caught. It could be some part of some kind of Ponzi scheme, some kind of pyramid scheme, some kind of money laundering. And guess what? He's going to get caught. And if he gets, if what I think is true, he might go to prison for it. Very likely. Because what he did is a crime against me for no reason. It's stealing property and assets. He's also very hatred towards me for being he hates me because I'm a Caucasian. He told me that he hates white women. He hates them. He can't stand white European women. He secretly fucking hates them. He's even admitted this to me, that he doesn't like them. And I know that. It's like, so it was all, from the very minute I met this man, it was all about abuse and control and about him feeling like he's better than me or that I should be ashamed of my race for being a Caucasian. Shame on me for being a white girl, a Caucasian, European descent. Shame on me, according to him. I shouldn't be in San Antonio. I shouldn't be in this neighborhood. I shouldn't be in this house. What am I doing here? Why do I have an inheritance? Because he's fucking jealous and envious is why. That's what this is about. And I can see it. And I hate to sound this way, but this is the truth. This is what this man's about. He's got so much animosity inside because I think he got hurt really badly by some other woman, and he was taking it out on me. All the baggage from his ex-wife, if he's still, all these women that he's angry at them, and he's taking it out on me. He's not over these ex-women, these exes. I'm sure that when he had this white woman, that was probably his fantasy, right? The tall, blonde, white woman who he met dancing. I'm sure that was like a fantasy come true for him, right? Like he met his queen, probably, and she probably figured him out, or I don't know what happened with that exactly, except that he complained about the way she was intimate with him. It's just all fucking drama. It's like all this soap opera drama. He was using me as a fucking emotional punching bag therapist for all this built up anger that he has going back from his fucking childhood, how he was the one having to take care of everybody. The thing is that he feels like he's the one who has to do everything. And as a child, he was the one having to do all the work. He was the one having to take care of all his siblings. His mother doted on him, but she didn't give him probably enough attention. He was jealous, and his stepfather was an alcoholic, but his stepfather doesn't really like him, I don't think. I don't think he really likes him, is what I think. I could be wrong, but I think that his stepfather has caught on to his bullshit too, probably, because he lives at home, supposedly, with his mother and stepfather. And he doesn't want to know who his real father is. Why is that? Why does he not want to know who his real father is? That's the problem right there. He's ashamed? Why doesn't he want to know who his biological father is, I wonder? What's the problem? Anyway, so he's got a lot of issues. And until he sorts out that shit, all of his relationships are going to fail. Because he's tied to his mother, incest, emotional incest. His mother controls him. His siblings control him. The women in his life, he's only doing everything to please them. He's not happy, I don't think. He's never going to be, because he lets other people dictate who he is and what to do. I don't even think he can think independently anymore. It's what it seems like. So he clings on to people who are more free-thinking, opposite to what he is, because he's so afraid to just get off of his script and high horse, because he's a narcissist. That's what I see in this man. And he's, like I said, when you look in his eyes, his pupils are always dilated. They look like he's got a lot of anger and sadness in his eyes, and most of the time I've seen his eyes, he's always wearing sunglasses when he's out, but he tries to hide his eyes. He doesn't like to look at you in the eye, because he's got a lot of pain and hiding stuff, and his pupils are usually really large, dilated, I noticed. And so he shows up, I guess, like I said, I came here the other day, there was a sticky note on my gate, and I was like, I thought it was probably from some kind of a delivery service, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh my God, don't tell me it's him again, after another few weeks of, then he shows up again with the fucking note on my gate. And I didn't even read it till later on the day. And then I read it and I was like, oh, this is just stupid. And so this morning I woke up and did something with that note. And then I had to do some things, take care of some business, personal business. And then he shows up after I go to the grocery store. He shows up knocking on the fucking door like that. And I recorded most of it as much as I could. First, I just ignored him for a good 10 minutes. I just ignored him. And then I got up and stood there and stared at him for about 5 minutes, just looking at him, standing there while he was looking at me through the door, the glass door, the pane glass, and the glass from the door. And he just kept looking at me, and I didn't answer him. And he's like, Lindsay, let me in. I miss you, baby. I miss you. Come on, baby. I need you. Let me in. And I just ignored him, just stared at him. And then finally, I just talked to him through the door. I never once let him in. And then I started screaming at him. Because I said, you know what, now what? And I was like, you know what, let me go fucking check his Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and unblock him again and go check the fucking Facebook, because what is he hiding now? What's up with that girlfriend of his? I was like, why is he coming over here when he's got a girlfriend? Okay, he's got a girlfriend because it's all over his fucking Facebook. Why is he coming here again? So I looked at his Facebook again today, unblocked it, and sure enough, pictures from yesterday with his love, Nidia Cardenas, and oh, wow, it's like, okay, so you've got a girlfriend, you've been living a double life, you've been lying to me, acting like, and then he tells me today that he wants me to be his girlfriend. He wants it to be exclusive. And that's what he said last. I'm like, what the fuck? You have a fucking girlfriend. You're telling me you want me to be your girlfriend and you want to be exclusive with me? Dude, you're fucking crazy. What is your problem? You see? And he's trying to gaslight my reality. I heard exactly what he said. He's asking me he was telling me he wanted me to be his girlfriend. And he's like, let's go. And I changed mine. I don't have a phone anymore. She stole my phone. She hacked into my phone. She put those pictures on my Facebook. I'm like, who did it? He's like, she did it. This Nydia girl did it. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, let's go to Metro PC and get me a phone. I said, no, I don't want to go anywhere with you. Now get off my property and get out of here. And then I started shouting at him and cussing. And I said, I'm going to call the police if you don't get out of here. And after a shouting match of my cussing, he finally left. Okay, I have the right to be angry when this man is violating my peace, my privacy, my property, or coming around here. I have the right to be angry and cussing like that because this is what they do. They try to get you really angry so that they can say that you're crazy and unstable. When they fucking, it's called, you're forced to react. A reactive abuse is what I'm trying to say. Is what these asshole, creepy, sadistic, perverted, sex addict, drug addict, alcoholic type people do to try to control the narrative, to try to control people and to get what they want, which is, I'm sure, what he wanted was something that, I can tell you what he wanted. He wants his fucking dick sucked or something intimate for me, like I'm a fucking whore, is what I know that's what he wanted for me. Fucking dirty pig. I'm not a prostitute for him, and I'm not some kind of he's just disgusting. He's just a disgusting, evil, greedy man, and I can't imagine who would want to, like I said, I'm glad that he's with someone else, because now I don't have to worry about him, but why does he keep bothering me? Get away from me and stay away from me. And if you lost your fucking job, that's your fucking fault. I don't care. Not my problem. I would never, I would fire that man so fucking fast if he worked for me. I would have fired his ass a long time ago. Just like this Bobby, like I said, I suspect it's all connected to that Bobby White somehow. Somehow I'm being utilized and somehow I'm being exploited, my identity, everything, because of these fucking greedy people trying to steal my money. And these are all facts.